Have you ever looked at your life and felt like nothing is really changing? Even though you are trying, you wake up, you do a few things, you think about your goals, you make some plans in your head, and then the day passes. And at night, when everything becomes quiet, that thought comes again. Why am I not there yet? Why is my life still the same? Why are other people moving ahead faster than me? It's a heavy feeling, and most people experience it at some point. The truth is, it's not that you are not capable. It's not that you don't have potential. It's not that something is wrong with you. It is simply that most people are expecting big results from small bursts of effort. Instead of understanding something much more powerful, real change is built slowly, quietly, and consistently. Small steps every day are not exciting. They don't feel powerful in the moment. In fact, they often feel useless. When you study one page, when you practice for 10 minutes, when you write one paragraph, when you save a small amount of money, when you try just a little bit, it doesn't feel like it is changing your life. Your mind expects something dramatic, something visible, something fast. But life does not change in dramatic moments most of the time. Life changes in ordinary moments, repeated again and again. Think about how a tree grows. If you stand in front of it for 1 hour, you will not see it grow. If you come back the next day, it still looks the same. But under the soil, something is happening. Roots are spreading deeper. The structure is becoming stronger. It is preparing itself to stand for years, even decades. And one day, without you noticing the exact moment it happened, it becomes big, strong, and impossible to ignore. That is how your life works too. Every small action you take is like a root growing under the surface. One small effort may not look important today, but it is building something inside your future. The problem is, most people only trust what they can see immediately. If they don't see fast results, they assume nothing is working. So they stop. They change direction. They restart again and again. And because of that, they never give their effort enough time to become something meaningful. Imagine planting a seed and then digging it up every 2 days to check if it is growing. You will destroy it before it even has a chance to become a plant. That is exactly what happens when people quit too early. Growth needs patience. It needs trust. It needs time. And most importantly, it needs repetition. Repetition is where real power comes from. Not doing something once, but doing it again and again. You don't become strong by lifting a heavy weight one time. You become strong by lifting it repeatedly. You don't become skilled by practicing once. You become skilled by practicing daily. You don't become successful by trying once. You become successful by showing up again and again, even when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you feel motivated. On those days, everything feels easy. You feel like you can do anything. But motivation is not stable. It comes and goes. If your life depends on motivation, your progress will also come and grow. That is why small daily steps are more powerful than motivation, because they do not depend on how you feel. They depend on your decision to continue. There is a moment in every journey where excitement disappears. At the beginning, everything feels new and inspiring. But after a while, reality kicks in. Progress is slow. Results are not visible. Energy drops. This is the point where most people quit. Not because they cannot continue, but because they expected things to be faster than they actually are. But the people who succeed are not the ones who never feel tired. They are the ones who continue even when it feels slow, even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when no one is clapping for them, even when they are alone in their effort. Because progress is not always visible in the moment. Sometimes you are improving, but you just cannot see it yet. Like learning a language. At first, you understand nothing. Then you learn a few words, then a few sentences. Then one day, without realizing it, you will start understanding things you could not understand before. That change feels sudden, but it was not sudden. It was built slowly through exposure, repetition, and time. Your life works the same way. Every effort you make is teaching your mind, shaping your habits, and building your future identity. If you read just a little every day, your knowledge expands. If you practice a skill a little every day, your ability improves. If you work on your discipline a little every day, your self-control strengthens. If you improve your thinking a little every day, your mindset shifts. And over time, these small improvements do not stay small. They accumulate. They stack on top of each other. They multiply. This is what people call the compound effect. It means that small actions repeated consistently lead to massive results over time. Not because any single action is powerful, but because thousands of small actions together become powerful. But the compound effort works in both directions. Positive actions build a better life. Negative habits, even small ones, also build something over time. Skipping responsibilities, delaying tasks, wasting time repeatedly, ignoring important work, none of these feel serious in the moment. But when repeated, they quietly shape your life in a direction you did not intend. That is why small steps matter so much, because you are always building something, whether you realize it or not. The only question is what you are building. Many people underestimate the power of small improvements. They think change must be big to matter. But imagine improving just 1% every day. 1% is nothing. it feels insignificant. But if you continue improving even slightly every day for a long time, you become a completely different person. Not suddenly, but gradually. So gradually that you may not notice the change until you look back and compare yourself to who you were before. The hardest part is not starting. Starting is easy. The hardest part is continuing when nothing seems to be happening, when effort feels invisible, when results feel far away. This is where discipline becomes more important than emotion. Discipline is what keeps you moving when feelings cannot. It is the quiet decision to continue even when there is no immediate reward. You do not need perfect conditions to grow. You do not need perfect timing. You do not need perfect motivation. You only need to keep taking small steps, even in imperfect conditions. Think about how rivers shape mountains. Water is soft. It has no force like a hammer or a machine. But over time, constant flow can cut through rock, not by strength, but by consistency, not by intensity, but by persistence. That is one of the strongest examples in nature of how small continuous actions can create massive change. Your habits work the same way. Each small action is like a drop of water. One drop does nothing, but millions of drops can change the shape of something solid. Right now, you may feel like your efforts are too small. You may feel like nobody notices what you are doing. You may feel like you are behind in life. But what you are doing today is not meant to show results immediately. It is meant to build the person you are becoming. Every time you choose to do something productive instead of something distracting, you are building discipline. Every time you continue even when you feel lazy, you are strengthening your mindset. Every time you refuse to give up, you are shaping your future. And one day there will be a moment when everything feels different. Not because something magical happened overnight, but because enough time has passed for your small efforts to become visible results. You will look at your life and realize that you didn't change in a single moment. You changed because of thousands of small decisions you made when nobody was watching. When it was hard, when it was slow, when it felt meaningless. And that realization will change how you see everything. You will understand that success was never about one big action. It was always about what you did every day. So if you are struggling right now, if you feel like your progress is invisible, do not stop. Do not wait for instant results. Do not underestimate the power of a small effort. Keep going, even if it feels slow. Even if it feels simple. Even if it feels like nothing is happening. Because the truth is, something is happening. You are changing. Your life is changing. Your future is being shaped quietly through what you do today. And if you continue long enough, you will reach a point where others look at your results and call it success. But you will know the truth. It was not one big moment. It was not luck. It was not sudden. It was small steps every day without stopping. And That is how a completely different life is built.